So today is Thursday. We're expecting Pastor Sergey a little bit later today to do a Bible study. So we're doing only preparation work. The guys are working on cleaning that whole wall. We moved the cabinet right here away from underneath the TV. And they're going to clean up that cabinet before it goes back in place. But they're kind of cleaning up the floor, the walls, getting everything cleaned up so that tomorrow we can put paint on. And this will be our third wall. Yesterday, Deema and I did this wall here. We pulled out our shoe cabinet there and painted back behind there. And we usually do 2 coats, but in this area right here we did 3 because we're going to be cleaning it more because coffee gets splashed and soup gets splashed. And then the day before, I'm going to have to tilt this a little bit, we did around the door frame in there, and then this whole wall here. That's the washroom. This whole wall, all the way to, move the camera a little bit, to the door there. So I don't know if you can see, kind of right here is where it stops. There's old paint to the left, new paint to the right. So this was the first wall that was done. And then it went to the door frame, and then we did all this yesterday, mainly Deema. Ura, there on the far right, is really good at cleaning. He's very slow, diligent, methodical. Deema on the left tends to work a little bit too quickly, so yesterday he was painting too much and he had a lot more errors and spilled paint on the cabinet and the doors that he had to go back and clean. Here, it's kind of almost opposite of our culture. They put up the paint. It's more of a preventative, not necessarily for beauty. And then afterwards, they spend hours and hours cleaning up all the drips and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Americans, we put down the drip cloth and we do more work in preparation so that there's less work at the end. So it's just a little bit different. So tomorrow he's going to paint there just around the end of the bookcase and just to the right up to the window. So that's why yours kind of scrubbing there. So they're just preparing it, and tomorrow we'll paint that and the door. And then Friday we'll take up the radiators here and paint this long wall. And it'll just have to tape around the windows and the floor and the ceiling trim, and that's it. I think the next thing Mark and I were talking about is replacing the styrofoam tile on the ceiling along with the trim, which is all styrofoam. Because before we had our vent for the stove, it would often roll into this room. And I don't know if you can see where we've kind of cleaned a spot there, how dirty that ceiling is. It's been about 8 years. We sweep it down, but we never wipe it down. Well, when you wipe it down, because it's styrofoam, it damages the pattern. So it's just easier to clean all that out. It'll be kind of a mess, but it's easy. And then redo the trim. So that's maybe a project down the road, maybe next winter. But we're glad to get this painted because we've got all sorts of little chips and stuff. For example, over here, especially by the door, if you can see here, lots of chips, and there's some further on down. You know, there's some more up in here that are small that maybe you can't see. So we're going to have to get our signs back up, like our exit sign up there, and then here was the fire extinguisher and the exit. So those signs are kind of thin metal, and they are damaged. When they come off, you can see the white there above the door and to the left. So we're going to have to buy new signs, but they're really cheap. And Mark will get them back up there with silicone glue. So Mark is working on some different stuff. I'm working on some future stuff and some finances, and the guys are doing this, and Pastor Sergey will be here this afternoon to do a Bible study. And then tomorrow, first thing, maybe even late tonight, depends, Mark will take that TV off that screen off the wall, and they'll paint that wall tomorrow morning. Winter work. I just finished, yesterday I washed the curtains in the washroom, and they're kind of a tulle and a curtain, and so I put them back up this morning, but I'll do another post on those pictures.